In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to find your GitHub version in just about 5 minutes. This is a straightforward guide designed to help you quickly and efficiently navigate through your GitHub setup to locate the version you are currently using. Whether you're a developer needing to check compatibility, a project manager keeping track of tools and versions, or just someone curious about the versioning of GitHub, this guide has got you covered. Let's start by understanding what we mean by the GitHub version. For many users, GitHub is accessed through a web interface, presenting the latest version of the platform without the need to worry about version numbers. However, when we talk about the GitHub version in this context, we're referring to the GitHub CLI, command line interface version. The GitHub CLI is a powerful tool that lets you work with GitHub directly from your command line, providing a more efficient and streamlined workflow for many tasks. Now let's dive into the steps to find out which version of the GitHub CLI you have installed on your system. The first thing you'll need to do is access your terminal or command prompt. This might sound a bit intimidating if you're not used to working in a text-only environment, but I promise it's simpler than it seems. On Windows, you can search for command prompt or PowerShell in the start menu. If you're using a Mac or a Linux-based system, you'll be looking for terminal. Once you have your terminal window open, you're going to enter a simple command to bring up the version number of your GitHub CLI. The command you'll need is ghversion. Type this command exactly as shown into your terminal and press enter. This command asks your system to report back the installed version of the GitHub CLI. What happens next is pretty straightforward. If you have GitHub CLI installed, the terminal will display a string of text that includes the gh command version number. This is your GitHub CLI version. It usually appears in a format similar to this: GH version 1, 2.3, January 1st, 2021. The numbers following version represent the version of the GitHub CLI you have installed, which is crucial information for ensuring compatibility with GitHub's online platform and potentially other tools or scripts you may be using. If, for some reason, you receive a message saying something along the lines of command not found or similar, it likely means the GitHub CLI is not installed on your system. In that case, you would not have a GitHub version to find, and your next steps would involve downloading and installing the GitHub CLI, which is beyond the scope of this guide. Assuming you've successfully found your GitHub CLI version, you might wonder what to do with this information. The version number can be helpful in several scenarios. If you're troubleshooting issues with GitHub, knowing your CLI version can be vital information for support teams. Additionally, when new versions of the CLI are released, comparing the version number will let you know if you're up to date or if you might want to consider updating to access new features or improvements. That's pretty much all there is to it. Finding your GitHub version through the CLI is a simple but essential skill that can help you in managing your development environments and ensuring that your tools are always up to date. Before we wrap up, here are a couple of additional tips. Always ensure your GitHub CLI is updated to the latest version to take advantage of new features and important security updates. Familiarizing yourself with more GHH commands can significantly boost your productivity and make many common GitHub tasks faster and more accessible directly from your terminal. I hope this video has made it clear and straightforward to find your GitHub version, and perhaps has even inspired you to explore more of what you can do with the GitHub CLI. Stay curious and happy coding.